Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Christy and this channel is all about money and mindset and the intentional focus on those two things, money and mindset, to increase joy and happiness in our lives and to decrease stress. And one of the ways that we of course decrease stress is to increase the amount of money that we have coming into our bank accounts. And so I have a couple of side hustles. I do reselling on Poshmark, eBay, Mercari, and Facebook Marketplace. And then I'm also a self-published author. So I do earn royalties every month for selling my books on online platforms like Amazon and Barnes & Noble, etc. So I'm coming to you today with another cash stuffing video. This video is coming a little bit quicker than previous videos because last week was just a really great week in terms of side hustle income. I actually made the same amount in the last week that I made the first 3 weeks of June. So, and you'll see a little bit of that as we go through where my income is coming from. So as I go through the video, I will share different resources that I use, but let's go ahead and dive in. And one more thing, if you like this video, please be sure to click the like button. And of course, I'm always looking for new subscribers. So if you like what I am talking about, please click the subscribe button as well. All right, so let's dive in. Let's take a look at the numbers. So this is a notebook that I use to track all of my expenses in terms of my side hustle. And I just bought this from Target. So I kind of like the little message on the front. It was cute. So I'm gonna go ahead and dive in here. So this is for the week of 6/26. First of all, let's talk about where the money came from. So I actually had something that has been sitting on Facebook Marketplace. I upgraded my son's he was in a toddler bed. I upgraded him to a full-size bed. I've had the toddler bed sitting on Facebook Marketplace since I moved a couple of months ago, and it finally sold. Yay! So that was the Facebook Marketplace transaction here. The rest of these are all coming from my reselling business. So I had a couple of different transactions from eBay that you'll see here. And then Poshmark, I have $86.05 that I transferred over last week. And then I did have some royalties that came in mid-month from Google. So that's $18.62. So that gives us a grand total of $205.25 that I'm working with today. All right, so what are we gonna do with this money? So first of all, I round that down to $205 just to keep the math easy. And then the next thing I do is I take taxes out. So I automatically take 30% out of my reselling and royalties. I don't take that off like my Facebook Marketplace transactions where I am actually just selling things from around my house. So that came to $46. I have a cashless note here because that means that I'm just transferring money to another account that I have. So after we subtract taxes, that leaves me with $159 that I am going to be putting into my different envelopes today. The next category is I want to be sure that I take care of my business expenses. So I do have a virtual assistant and some subscriptions that I use for my online reselling. Between all of those, by the way, that equates to about $80 a month for maintaining all of those subscriptions. So any extra money, of course, I want to make sure that I'm fully funding my business expenses before I start talking about, extra money. Then, of course, since I am always looking to continue to add inventory for my reselling business, I'm going to go ahead and put $20 into my inventory as well. So that means $60 I'm taking out of this to continue to fully fund my business expenses. And then that leaves me with $99 that I have left over to decide what to do with. So I have a couple of different envelopes that I'm going to be stuffing today. So I recently started a new full-time job, and what I'm finding with my budget, and I'm sure a lot of people probably find this too, I am skewed towards the beginning of the month having more bills because I have my mortgage due at the beginning of the month, and that's a big chunk of my my budget. So I don't have as much money to stuff in my cash envelopes for my first paycheck of the month, my first regular paycheck, and then I'm going to be doing all my cash stuffing for my sinking funds with my second paycheck of the month. In the meantime, though, I know that there are different sinking funds that I have underfunded just for my regular paycheck. So it's great to have this side hustle income to go into these different sinking funds so I can make sure that I'm not having to kind of crash and burn my budget because I have to find money, where that money is coming from. So I'm going to be stuffing several different envelopes today. I recently started an account at a different online bank than my regular bank because it pays a little bit more in interest. And I'm going to be putting my money for travel into that account. So this is another line item that is cashless because I'm going to go ahead and just move money from one bank account to another. I know there are probably a lot of people who kind of struggle with this. Do I go fully cash for my cash envelope spending? Do I go cashless? I definitely am settling into a rhythm where I do both, and that feels very comfortable for me. So then I'm going to go ahead and fund my sinking funds for clothing, gifts, my house, which I break this out. House is for everything inside the four walls. Lawn care is for everything outside. And then my author expenses, which I'll talk about when I get to that envelope. So I'm going to divide this $99 across these different envelopes. And I've already gone ahead and moved that $40 over. So I'm going to be stuffing the rest of these envelopes. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? I'm going to bring, these are my business envelopes that I'm bringing over today. And then I'm going to put my cash down here. I'm going to put this here. Oh, we want to make that a little bit more visible for everybody. There's the 10. So if you use actual envelopes like I do, I have a couple of different kinds. So these were just free resources that I got from the Budget Mom. So I subscribe to her weekly newsletter, and she sends out different kinds of, trackers, envelopes. She talks about a different financial topic every Friday when she sends out her letter. So I actually got these from one of her newsletters. This is just regular old printer paper that I printed these out, taped them together, and now I have envelopes. The other kind of envelopes I have are these. So these are my sinking funds. So these are my business expenses. These are my sinking funds. This was part of a cute little cash envelope system that I got from Amazon. It's from Clever Fox. It was pretty inexpensive. Came with 12 different envelopes as well as trackers. So I use these to keep track of my sinking funds. And I'll have links to the Budget Mom resources as well as this in the description below. The last thing that I should mention that I'm going to be using today, my very favorite thing, if you've watched any of my previous videos, the erasable pen from Parku. So this makes my life so much easier since I started using these because I make all sorts of mistakes when I'm doing my regular budgeting. Well worth the investment of like $15 to get like 10 of these. So I would highly recommend. I'll have a link to these also in the description below. So okay, for business expenses first, I'm going to be putting $40 in this today. Currently looks like I have $10 in here. So today I am going to add $40. So I should have $50 in here. Go ahead and add this, 20, 40, 50, and I am good to go. All right, now inventory. I haven't been shopping for a little while. I am waiting for some of my local consignment stores to have their next 90% off sale. I love those sales. So right now I should have $85 in here. Let's do a quick count. 20, 40, 50, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85. And I'm going to be adding another 20 to this today. So add 20, so I should have 105. I can do a lot with $105. I can tell you that. Especially at the 90% off sales, you can get a lot of stuff for $100. All right, so let's make sure we have the right amount in here. 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100, 105. Okay. So now we move into my my sinking funds. So I have stuffed my expenses. So first of all, I'm going to be doing clothing. Where is that? Here we go. Now, I can tell by this envelope, it is empty. Yep, I have money come in and out of this all the time because I'm buying seasonal clothing and such for me and my son. And like I said, this is just a nice little fund, so I'm not constantly taking extra money or having to find extra money in my budget for clothing. So I build this up and then usually go on a little shopping trip, set it aside. So $6.26, and I am going to put $15 in here today. Oh, my pen is running out. Oh no. Hang on a second. I need to grab a different one. Not an erasable pen, so I cannot make any mistakes. Didn't have one of those right behind me. So I'm gonna add $15 here. Okay. Next, I'm gonna go to gifts. All right, in gifts right now, I should have $60, 20, 40, 60, and I'm gonna add $10 to this today. Hopefully, this is going to be an envelope that slows down a little bit for me as we are going into the summer. I mentioned, you can see, I have one whole side already, and I'm halfway down the other side, and it's the end of June. So I woefully underfunded this particular envelope. This doesn't include Christmas, by the way. I have a separate sinking fund specifically for Christmas. So this is just for any time outside of Christmas that I need to buy a gift for someone. So birthday gifts, Mother's Day, Father's Day, teacher appreciation, all of that. So I should have $70 in here now. 20, 40, 60, and 70. All right, now I'm moving on to my house fund. Like I mentioned, for my house, this would be anything that I buy for inside the house, decorations, kitchen stuff, things like that. I just hosted a Pampered Chef party. Yeah, that's gonna come from this envelope. More kitchen tools. You just can't have enough Pampered Chef stuff. Okay, so I have $100 in here right now, and I am gonna be adding $15. So I should have $115. Let's make sure I have $100 in here right now. 50, 70, 90, 100, and I'm gonna add 10 and 15, or 5 for 15. All right, 50, 70, 90, 100, 110, 115. So I know what my budget is for my Pampered Chef order that I'm gonna be placing here in the next couple of days. Nice to have this cash on hand. Another busy envelope. You can see tracker's been full on one side already. Okay, so next I have lawn care. My repurposed travel envelope, because now that I've gone cashless with my travel, I have transferred this to my lawn care. Lawn care is anything outside my house. So I'm adding $10 to this envelope. I should have $170 here right now. 50, 100, 20, 40, 60, 70. I'm adding $10 to this. 51, 120, 140, 160, 170. No, that's not right. 180? Yeah, oh, that is right. Oh my goodness, I should probably look at the numbers before I start counting things, huh? Always the things you do on camera. Okay, 180, we're good to go there. Okay, so then this last little bit of money that I have left over. So when I go through, I kind of allocate my money across my sinking funds, my various sinking funds where I'm underfunded. That just didn't want to go in there. Kind of take what's left, and that goes into my author expenses envelope. So I mentioned at the very top of this video that one of my side hustles is I am a self-published author. I haven't published anything in quite a while, but if you have ever researched writing your own books, then you discover very quickly that you become the person responsible for all of the things that a traditional publisher normally does for you. So things like once you write the actual manuscript, you have to pay for editing and proofreading. You have to pay for the covers. If you want to do advertising, that all falls on you as the author. So I'm going to be publishing more things later on this year, and I've been saying this for the last 6 months. The rubber's going to start hitting the road on this very soon because we're now entering the latter half of the year. But I just wanted to have a little sinking fund that I could have some of this money already up front and waiting for me when I am ready to go and start self-publishing again. So I have $9 here. So 5, 9. Right now I should have $205 here. So 50, 150, 170, 180, 190, 195, 200, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, 205. I am adding $9 to this today. 626. And so I should have $214 now. I'm gonna have to switch these ones out. I have, I do the dollar challenge, the $1 challenge. So at the end of every budget cycle, any cash that I have in my wallet where I have ones or I have fives, I go ahead and I tuck them away in a little slush fund that I'm going to count at the end of the year, and I'll put that towards something fun, probably for me and my son. So I'm gonna have to start swapping some of these ones out though. So $214, 50, 150, 170, 180, 190, 195, 200, 205, 206, 207, 208, 209, 210, 211, 212, 213, 214. Cool. So there you go. Have stuffed all of my business expenses and all of my sinking funds. And that is what we've got today, everybody. So again, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. These are the types of videos that I have been traditionally adding to the channel on a regular basis. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those, please be sure to click the subscribe button, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye.